Last Tuesday, I stood up in front of the entire workforce and announced the new operating model and therefore the organisation which will follow on from the new operating model. It's been about 2 years in the making, and actually you could trace it back to the end of the global agreement in 2006. If you add in the financial crisis in 2008, the Defence Review in 2010, the various land agreements and Project Euston, which is the overarching project for the reduction of the MoD estate, effectively from 20 down to 7 sites, we clearly needed to reorganise to meet the challenge of the future. And so last Tuesday, when I stood up, I was able to announce that we needed to reduce the workforce by 85, but that we would be doing so by a voluntary package. We were very clear that the package would run over a couple of years, that we were only seeking volunteers, and that we were seeking volunteers from across the entire workforce, with the one exception of the Defence Police, who are subject to a separate review, and that having consulted with the trade unions the day before, we were in a 30-day consultation period. Following that, we move into the period where those people who, having had the opportunity to discuss within their departments and with the human resources departments what terms they would get, because again it wasn't a blanket redundancy package, it was a package based entirely on the individual in terms of their seniority, length of service and salary.
The Chief Minister has described compulsory redundancies as a real red line, so can you categorically rule these out?
I do not envisage any compulsory redundancies, and the reason I'm confident I can say that, and that is the line, is that we looked very carefully at the package. We knew that we did not wish to make compulsory redundancies, and so we were very careful to negotiate for an attractive package. It is a voluntary package, it is available to everybody, the terms are very good, and the reason that I'm confident that I don't envisage any compulsory redundancies is because I am already aware of the level of interest that is being expressed, and if I compare back to the package the last time, which was exactly the same, we were oversubscribed.
What happens if people don't take the package, as for example there are many for whom it would not make financial sense?
Absolutely, and as I said, it's a voluntary package. Nobody will be forced out of a job. For those people who have taken a look at the package and who realise that it's not for them, therefore obviously they are choosing to remain in MoD employment. It may well be that their job hasn't changed at all and they will continue in their job as if nothing had happened. There will be people who look at the package and see that somebody either in the same department of them, perhaps more senior, has taken redundancy, but that the position that they have gone from is not one of the positions that we've earmarked for redundancy. That will open up an opportunity for an LEC to seek promotion, and if in seeking that promotion they require some additional training, the Ministry of Defence has undertaken to provide that training. Equally, there will be people who may find themselves in a position that has been taken as part of the reorganisation, and they will then be in a position to look around and see if there is an attractive to them job either within the same department or indeed the same opportunity to look for promotion, or indeed the same opportunity in another department. And equally, of course, if having done all of that, they then have a relook at the package and decide that it is attractive to them in those circumstances, then of course it is a voluntary package and they will have the opportunity at a later stage to apply.
Fabian Picardo has expressed disappointment in the reduction, saying that a critical mass of personnel is needed in order to operate a forward mounting base. So, can the base continue to function effectively?
Absolutely it can, and that is the cornerstone of the work that we have done in order to be able to announce a new operating model. I am under a mandate to be able to demonstrate sovereignty of Gibraltar first and foremost, and second to maintain a forward mounting base. The new operating model is designed to make sure that those two remain sacrosanct, and they are. And if anything, the ability to conduct the reorganisation has enabled us to look ahead at what the future requirements of a forward mounting base might be in a world beyond 2020.
Will there be further reductions? What do you see as the minimum needed to operate this base?
I haven't got a figure. I'm not going to answer with a figure, but I can categorically assure you there are no further plans for any further job reductions.
How can this operating model, described by Unite the Union as a mass reduction disguised as a voluntary redundancy package, work for the MoD's presence in Gibraltar and for Gibraltar's appeal as a base?
Well, first I'd say that I disagree fundamentally with Unite's position. What I would say is that the new operating model and the reorganisation that is following on from that is designed to absolutely place the Ministry of Defence in a pivotal role within Gibraltar and to retain Gibraltar as a strategic pivotal role within the United Kingdom and the Mediterranean specifically.
The timing has also been called into question, with Unite saying that this will impact the local community and create further economic uncertainty in the shadow of Brexit. So could the timing have been better?
Well, clearly Brexit at the end of June was a shock to everybody, and of course at the time the Ministry of Defence was about to make the announcement that I made last Tuesday. So what actually happened was the Chief Minister secured from the Prime Minister an agreement to pause for 3 months the announcement. The Ministry of Defence has paused. What I can categorically say is that nothing has happened in those 3 months that has changed the package that we announced last Tuesday. If anything, it has placed 3 months between the Brexit announcement and our announcement.
There's also been a letter from a group of civilian workers within the MoD, which GBC has obtained, claiming that the numbers of UK personnel are being inflated to the detriment of the LECs. What's your response?
Right, well, the first thing is that is absolutely not true at all, and that anyone who had been at the brief I gave last Tuesday, and anyone who has read the letter and has indeed had the opportunity to discuss since then would know that that is simply not true. The second part I'd say is of the letter, that obviously the Ministry of Defence has a policy about contact with the media, and the Ministry of Defence also has a policy about the way in which we, as an employer, have an agreed policy for the way in which we engage with our workforce on difficult issues and questions.
The letter also cited what it called austerity measures, and which Unite has also highlighted, for example the 6-year pay freeze on LECs. So has this been taken into account in the new operating model?
Well, yes. I mean, what we have to be very clear is that anybody who's working for the Ministry of Defence in Gibraltar, whether they are military, UKBCs or LECs, have been subject to the central government pay freeze. So Gibraltar has not been singled out for exceptional treatment on that. That is a pay freeze that has been mandated across government and all UK employees, wherever they are serving.
And finally, will the operating model be made public? What's next?
Well, the new operating model, the announcement of the new operating model has effectively already been made public by me in announcing it. The actual structure, the final structure, will become clear to everybody over time, and I'm not being difficult in answering this. It's just that simply we made the announcement last Tuesday. We have a period of consultation with the trade unions to get through, and we also, I have a duty to announce to the individual departments what it will mean for their specific department before we put the whole thing together to announce what the final organisation will look like. But we do know, I do know what it will look like, but I have to tell my employees first.